This is awesome.
Oh, Clark, hey. Good to see you among the living, man. Check it out. It's the latest talent mix.
Thanks, Pete.
Good to see you all among the living. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Talent Mix. It's a Smallville recap podcast. I'm Brian. Zach's here. Season 6. We're making it happen.
I think we're getting our mojo back here a little bit this episode.
It's real fast. Asterisks before we get too deep into there. Every season we should come up with a tagline. We should have a new tagline for the show. And I reckon season 6 should be season 6. We're making it happen.
Great.
Because to be clear, the tagline is for our podcast, not for Smallville.
Not for the show.
Right.
No. Yeah.
Talent Mix season 6. We're making it happen.
I wonder if the show had taglines for each season. I do have the DVDs. I wonder if it's on there.
The DVDs would usually have some sort of, or maybe I'm thinking wrong. No, there would be like a poster, but the poster would be like the ad on a comic book, and it'd be something like "Everything's different now." Or,
yeah, this is the season where big stuff happens.
Yeah. Before we get into Smallville, because yes, we had a good one, and we got one. Finally, some good fucking food in season 6. I have to tell you a story because I think we need to figure out some. I feel like this is actionable and we should do something with this because this is humiliating to me. What I'm about to tell you is humiliating.
Great. I'm on board.
High school English teacher reached out to me the other day, sent me an Instagram message.
Whoa. Okay.
So in high school, my English teacher was great. She was amazing. Yeah. Everyone has a cool English teacher, and this one was mine. You know.
Great.
And so she reaches out to me. She has a VHS tape of a project that I made my junior year of high school that she has hung on to. And she messaged me that she's retiring in June and she would like to send it to me. Which don't
yes. The answer is yes, Brian. The answer is yes.
I don't know what to do with this, and I'd have to get
know you, and I know that you're like, oh, I don't want to watch that. You got to.
I don't.
Brian.
I deeply don't. I'm so terrified to tell you what it is.
Oh, tell it. The best place for you to tell me is here on this podcast. This is the most private place I can think of.
All right, everyone else, skip ahead a couple of minutes. Zach, this thing that I made in my junior year of high school is Hamlet filtered through the 1994 Kevin Smith film Clerks.
Oh my God.
Which is the worst sentence I've ever said.
Oh, I need a minute. No. Oh my God. Brian, my anticipation for this. Please tell me there's a way that I could possibly watch this someday. Please tell me that's not a pipe dream.
I mean, there has to be. So it's on a VHS tape right now.
I mean a way you'll let me watch it. That's what I mean.
It does. I do have to, right? I've said it now. I've said it with the intention of we have to do something with it.
Right. You're far enough away now.
I am far enough away now from. I think it's possible that.
Yeah, like I don't think we ever mentioned this on air, but I unearthed a DVD of a movie we helped make for a friend of ours in film school. We were in it. It was written by someone else, someone else's thing. We just kind of appeared in as minor characters, and I told Brian, hey, I found this thing, and Brian's like, fucking burn it.
My response
not watching that
was visceral.
It's like I had found a sex tape, only worse. It was like I found
worse.
Evidence that you murdered someone at some point.
It's
Look, I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to watch it either. It was probably one of the most awkward times for both of us.
That's the thing of like, I look back at that period of my life as very awkward, and I still like,
yeah. Maybe in 20 more years. I'll keep it in the vault. I didn't burn it.
Right. High school is a little more like, it was high school, you know?
Yes. Yeah, I get it.
It's anything like post high school is a little more like, what was your deal, man? So what's your excuse like now?
To be fair, though, Brian, you were the age of a high school.
I was 17 years old.
Yeah, I have less of an excuse. I was 20 years old. So
an awkward time, and I'd have a good awkward decade following.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, of course. Me too.
I was writing an old friend this past week, a full decade after that. And in my letter, it was just like a little like, thanks for looking out for me back then. I was weird.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we'll do with that. I think if we use it for the podcast, and it seems like a Patreon thing where like we have to watch it or something.
Oh man, that may get us some actual money. People right. Like, I got to see this Clerks Hamlet from Brian's high school.
I think the thing now here's the thing. There's other people in it. So like that's a weird thing that we may need to. I may need to
blur them or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I may see if I can get some permissions here. I don't know everybody, but I'm casually social media like friends with a handful of people. Oh man, that was I mean,
Brian, putting it on behind a paywall for our Patreon is
like as good
letting it. Yeah, it's as good as not showing it to anyone, right? I don't think the 4 people, that watch it there are gonna tell anyone, unless one of them turns out to be someone from the movie.
Wouldn't that be something?
Brian, I have hours and hours of high school videos that I made.
You did a bunch of fun stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I have projects too. The thing is, I'm never going to compete with that log line that you just pitched.
It's the worst sentence I think anyone has ever said.
No. Yeah. Opposite.
My wife, I'm literally on the couch and I'm like, I just got a message and just, and I basically say the whole thing. And Emily like stands up on the couch and like, you get that sent here. You get that sent here. And we've vaguely been talking about maybe getting a VHS player, right? Figuring out exactly what.
Should. I have one.
It's especially like I've been looking at a lot of like used VHS tapes and like, oh man, there's a lot of weird shit in here. And Emily was like, we will go get one right now. Like,
yeah, you have to digitize it before it's too late.
Yeah,
you need to preserve the cinema.
Of course,
is your high school project.
Shot on VHS-C. I never had a digital camera. I had the little It was like half of a VHS tape.
Yeah.
And you put it into an adapter.
Yes. Did you? Is it still need the adapter?
No. I like crash edited it on the VCR.
Great.
A real modern editing suite.
Oh, I used to do that shit all the time. Yeah. 2 VCRs.
Just the one? Oh, because I could use the camera. Okay. I could use the camera with the thing in it, and then I could crash edit on the VHR. So effectively, yes. But fuck, dude.
Yeah.
October 12th, 2006. is when this episode of Smallville aired, so not that far removed from. This week we watched WITHER. It's the 3rd episode in the 6th season of Smallville, and it's the 113th episode overall. It aired October 12th, 2006. Breath of fresh air. We mentioned it a little bit up top. It was just like, oh my God, a good one. A good one.
It is everything you and I want from an episode of Smallville. I imagine the hardcore fans maybe have the opposite. Like,
maybe that's why we're so unsuccessful. I think, Zach, our opinions to the Smallville community might be bad.
And also the thing is, I am a hardcore fan. I've watched this series all the way through like 3 times. But we want the silly. We want the silly. We want the campy.
I think it's better at being a silly, campy show than it is at being a serious show.
Yes.
That's the thing.
With some exceptions.
Yeah.
I do think sometimes the serious stuff works really well, but it is still heightened and soap opera-y serious. It's not, we're not watching The Leftovers, you know.
Wrestling is dumb as a bag of rocks and it can still move me. Same with Smallville, you know?
Absolutely, yes. And you know this episode right off the bat is going to be at least decent because we open at Lover's Lane, Makeout Point.
Makeout Point. We have a location referred to as Makeout Point. We have a needle drop this episode. We have smoochings
needle drop.
or promise or temptations of smoochings abound. We have God, we're eating good.
It's good. This is just what the chef ordered to fill our empty Smallville bellies.
So I'm of course reading directly from smallville.fandom.com here. I'm going to read a little bit here, and then actually I just want to jump into the episode because I have some immediate questions.
Great.
So, also, I'll say, so we open here at Makeout Point, a lover's lane, if you will. I love that 6 seasons into Smallville, we're still learning about new locations in Smallville.
Oh, shit. Are they in Smallville?
That's a good point.
Are. You know, I think they are, though. I think they
where else would they be?
Yeah, we're so much in the Metropolis these days.
That's true.
Like, it can't be Metropolis, obviously.
No, come on. This is definitely a Smallville. Well, oh, shit. That's a great point, though. They're in Smallville. I'm just deciding that, god damn it. Chloe and Jimmy are staking out a quote-unquote good story at the local Makeout Point, Lone Pine. Lone Pine is the name. Did your town have a Makeout Point?
Maybe in the 50s. I don't
What?
I'm sure there were places teenagers made out. I was not making out with anyone, so I have no idea.
I was primarily a basement maker outer. Not
Great. I was more making out than I did. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there were people who parked their car and made out. There was not like in this episode, which is basically like a drive-in movie theater's worth of cars parked in one spot,
and everybody
making out 5 feet away from each other.
Right.
There's like 17 cars.
That's too many cars for. Yeah, we go park up there. We all make out.
And one couple, decides to go fuck in the bushes at one point, which is like, you're in the car.
Right.
Why would you ever want to fuck in bushes if you didn't have to?
Why would you introduce, right. Why would you introduce bugs into the picture?
Right. If you're camping or whatever, that's your only option, or you're filming some sort of fucking OnlyFans video.
A porn parody of the Blair Witch Project.
Yes. Oh my God, I'm just thinking about the close. It's just a close up on someone's face and they're like a snot coming out of their nose.
Yep. Great.
Blair Witch reference. Surely you would stay in the car.
Surely. It's spooky up there.
not spooky. It's cold. It's poison oak or whatever the fuck. We don't know. There might be a freak of the week about.
Oh, that's the other thing we get this episode, Zach. We get a freak of the fucking week. But before we get too into it, I'm just going to start this episode up.
Let's do it.
So we open, of course, on Makeout Point. There are 3 cars, which is not quite 17, but more than wait, there's 5. And then
They're parked way too close.
Look
at how big the field is.
We're looking at a big old field. We pan through a bunch of cars. There's some tomfoolery happening in those cars. And finally, we get to Jimmy Olsen. ? I don't know what that's about. I just know this is Jimmy Olsen. And Chloe.
Yeah, it definitely is.
I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be. Not a bit on my end. And they are in the car, not making out. It's worth noting.
Well, I don't know exactly.
The line there was Chloe saying, "What are we doing here exactly?" And I love that they apparently drove this entire way. And Chloe finally
take a left up here.
Right.
Take a left. Where are we going? You shouldn't just take a left.
Shut up. Fine. Shut up.
Ask me when we get there.
I got this hot tip. There's something weird going on up here. I thought it might be a good story.
By weird, you mean 2 people at Makeout Point not making out?
Now, what I want to call attention to is what is playing on the radio. It's going to be hard to focus in on.
Interesting.
Listen to the radio.
You're right. You know what? We're undercover. We should probably be a little more convincing.
Among the bright newcomers to the market, the Toyota Camry Hybrid boasts an MSRP below $26,000, 40 MPGs for the urban commuter, and
oh my gosh.
Hey, Talkville. This is the shit I want from Talkville. Did you just legit throw in some sponsored Toyota Camry? Did you find a space of airtime of like, hey, they're going to be listening to the radio. You know what's on the radio? Commercials. Can we fit one in there?
It's not even really a commercial, though. It sounds like talk radio, but a guy's talking about how you should get this Camry.
Right. That's weird, right?
Because, radio commercials are Toyota Camry.
Your wife will fuck you again. Radio. Toyota Camry.
This is Toyota Camry. Yeah, this year's model.
Talking about miles.
That's talk radio.
Yeah, but it's talking about like miles per gallon. Weird. Just weird.
I love they're like, no one's going to listen to it, so we can put whatever we want. But doesn't that defeat the purpose of having maybe it's like some subliminal thing?
It was like, yeah. Or was it just as simple, like they probably didn't get paid a lot for it, but I wonder, like, will you give us something?
Yeah, give us $1,000 and we'll put this in here.
Right. Which, even if it's like subliminal, quote unquote, Smallville is not the target car buying demo, right?
No, right. Yeah.
I don't know, a 16-year-old is buying a new car. Yeah.
Even the fans in their 30s are getting a ride from mom, you know? I can make that joke because I'm 38 and I have a Smallville podcast. Yeah. So,
and sometimes I need a ride from my mom. I'm in my 30s, have a Smallville podcast, and my car is a hand-me-down from my father-in-law. So, it's all good. So, I think that's all I wanted to talk about in this. That's why I brought this up. Is there anything else in this cold open before we move on?
No, that's great. I didn't notice that. That's amazing.
So, okay, Jimmy suggests they try to be a little more convincing. Chloe says she wouldn't mind rekindling their relationship, but they should take it a little slower. Jimmy agrees, but then they start making out and are interrupted when they hear a scream in the woods. They go to investigate.
Those two people who went out to fuck. That's why you don't do that.
That's why you don't go out to fuck. You stay in the car to fuck.
Is that why lovers' lanes have kind of faded out? Because, like, in movies, universally someone gets killed if you're at a lovers' lane.
That's you don't see a lovers' lane in a movie unless someone's gonna get fucked. It's a Chekhov's like lovers' lane.
Yeah.
I would assume they went away. I was never a good car sex haver. That was always like I would rather not have done that.
Tell me about it. I did one time. Okay, this is just between you, me, and the Smallville listeners. Mm-hmm. One time, someone I was with, we were at a party, and she suggested we go down to her car to have intercourse.
Wow.
And this was in the city. And I said absolutely not,
No, I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy.
Well, it's not just that. I'm a square and I didn't want to get caught.
Yeah. But no, same energy.
Once again, just to reiterate for those at home who maybe haven't heard previously, I'm fucking tall. I do not fit comfortably in my own car. The only way anything is happening in my car is if we stay in our own seats. Somehow. So it's strictly hand stuff is all that's allowed in a car. And my back hurts just thinking about it.
Yeah. That's pretty bad. That doesn't sound good. That's I would say, oh, wow, that's why I'm glad to be of average height. But car sex, still not great. Still not great.
No.
I was hooking up with a person in a parking garage one time. And I was eventually I was ready to call out, right? I was white flag, like, hey, I don't really think this is going to work out. To which she begins to basically yell at me, figure it out. Which is not great, motivation to figure it out.
No. The last thing I need in that situation is pressure.
Yeah, right.
Does not get me in the mood.
Yeah, right. I'm not saying worse than getting murdered by a freak of the week, but at least comparable. It takes two to figure out the logistics here, the bad logistics of having sex in my pickup truck. Okay, so Jimmy and Chloe go to investigate and are shocked to find a girl impaled on a tree. Oh, just the good stuff. That's the stuff you want in a Smallville episode.
Yes. You want two people going out to fuck and getting killed. That's where we're at.
Perfect. Because only a monster could impale a girl in a tree.
Yep.
So, at the Kent farm, Martha asks Clark if he intends to attend Lex's charity costume ball, which he is holding to benefit the families affected by Dark Thursday.
That's a hard no, Mom. Are you kidding?
Are you kidding?
You want me to go to the party thrown by my ex-friend who I now hate and he hates me, who is also dating the love of my life / ex-girlfriend who also hates me now. You want me to go to that party?
You want me to go to that party?
Cool.
And also, unrelated, just while everyone's excited to go to the costume party, he was possessed by the guy, the evil general who,
yeah, who was my father's nemesis.
Yeah. No, I'm good, Martha.
I can find so many better things to do with my time than to go to a party like that. I don't care how swanky it is.
That said, Lex should have continued to have, every season should have Lex having a fancy ball of some kind so that we could still have a prom episode every year.
We need an excuse for live music.
It's tough right now with all of the different, like, and very disparate stories. It's hard to get characters in the same room.
Right.
On this show.
You're
right
going to see I think we're going to have a lot of parties this week because we have next episode. Spoiler alert. There's a party right off the bat.
Right. It's the only way to get everybody in the same place.
Yeah.
Which I think is a problem with some of your writing here. Like, no one wants to hang out at the Talon, huh?
Well, we're just it's so ancestral at this point. Everyone's either fucking or have fucked, and now we're like,
right.
All nemesis.
Right. And you can either be nemesis or you can do like the sitcom Friends thing. We're like, we fucked and we're just kind of fine with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so Clark declines and the two have a thoughtful conversation about Clark's recent personal losses. Clark says he doesn't feel any different. She disagrees and assures him that his recent losses will shape the person he becomes. Not quite a Nietzsche line by my count.
Oh no, but we do get a Nietzsche line.
Oh, do we?
In that scene.
I might
I'm
miss
paraphrasing, but when she asks if he's going to the party, he says something to the effect of, "I'm not into costumes."
Fuck you, Smallville.
That's a Nietzsche line.
That's a Nietzsche line. Fuck you.
I'm certainly not into wearing red and blue and a cape.
No, would never. Clark contemplates a front page picture on the cover of the paper of Lex and Lana together, captioned, "The next Lex girl." You know, this thing the Lex girl.
He has had a lot of lady friends.
Yes, that is true. So, Lex asks Lana to pick out a costume, and she brings up the photograph, saying she doesn't want to be his newest arm candy. He tells her that he was raised in front of the cameras, and she can't let it bother her. Lana wonders what happens when Lex actually gets what he wants and gets what he can't have. And Lex gets angry and gives her an ultimatum because he wants to be more than roommates. She says she needs time to be sure.
This is a conversation. Sorry, this is a conversation you needed to have before she moved in.
When you bring in the costumes for the costume party is not the time to... Are we, like, fucking?
Yeah, what's going
on here? Move in, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, move in, and then we'll worry about it.
Don't worry, I'll find an awkward time to insist.
I also like this. Smallville zags here in a way that I wasn't expecting. They introduced this lady. I can't remember what her job is. Someone who works for Lex, and she has one line to Lana. And I was like, oh, gee, I wonder if this is going to be the freak of the week. But it's not.
It's not.
It's just some lady with one line.
Just some lady with one line. Sometimes lady just has one line.
It's weird. I mean, they give way more attention to her than they would normally of someone just.
You are right.
Quick.
I wasn't thinking on that level, but you are right. I just want to finish this paragraph, and then I have a topic I would like to get into. She says she needs time to be sure, as she usually puts too much trust in people, and then moves into their houses. But Lex harshly replies that she just put too much trust into Clark, emphasizing the fact in a way that makes her feel guilty, stupid, and miserable. All right, we're editorializing a little bit here, Wiki. Whoa.
Guilty, stupid, and miserable.
Wiki, are you bringing a little bit of your own baggage here?
I didn't get any of that from her reaction.
I think I think a Klana fan wrote this wiki.
Unless in the scene where she's talking to Chloe about it, is there a line like, "Oh, I feel guilty, stupid, and miserable"? Because I don't remember that. Maybe it was there.
I don't. Maybe, but I no. I think this person just doesn't like Lex and Lana and has to make it like.
Okay, fine, Brian. I wrote it.
I knew it. Fucking took.
I'm the number one. Boo, Lex Lana.
Took 100-something episodes. He says he is done paying for Clark's mistakes, and Lana has to decide. I will say, now removed enough. Like we took a break. We watched a bunch of Batman movies. I'm now removed enough from the what's the word I'm looking, grooming is not like in the text, but absolutely hard to escape from. Now everyone's just kind of adults, and
right. This is like they make this from season 5 to season 6. We basically have leapt 5 years.
Right.
Like
right.
It's only one day or whatever in the reality of the show, but from now on, these are adults. Like these are young adults. These are people. They are playing closer to their real ages of like 25, 26 at this point.
Right. It's I guess where I'm at of like Lex and Lana is bad. It's a bad, but now that like I don't feel as gross about it, that was largely time. The water, the frog with the water getting warmer.
Right.
It's a little like, fine, this may as well. I don't have anything else for Lana to do. May as fucking well, you know?
No, yeah, I don't dislike it on a that's gross level. I mean, I do, but that's not the problem I have with it. I just don't like the characters together because it's such a toxic fucking
I mean,
weird
yeah, I guess
relationship of.
I'm kind of in, I think, a different boat of just like, fucking fine. May as well. You two deserve each other, I guess.
I'm going to check in with you midway through the season and see how you feel about it.
Great. I also wonder, I mean, so far Lana's like fucking 0 for 6 on season-long storylines, so I don't assume I'll be like, I like this one.
Right.
I also think Lex is maybe. Sorry.
I was going to say, from my memory, she does have more agency than in this season than she normally gets in the show. Like she's driving the plot more, making decisions. You know, I'm sure it was more fun for her.
Sure. So I also want to talk about. I feel like Michael Rosenbaum has a little bit of a 6th season itch here. I don't think he's a little checked out here.
Yeah, he's not in the running for MVP so far.
No.
I do think he's ready to go.
He's coming to work, don't get me wrong, but he ain't giving you any more than that.
Yeah. And I would say on the flip side, I found Tom Welling seems like he's so comfortable now in the role.
I agree.
It's like effortless for him at this point.
Right. And we've always been Tom defenders, but like, I think he's doing really good work here.
You can still ham it up in some of the big scenes, but particularly when it's like silly and fun, he's cruising, man.
Yeah, man.
He's got it.
Yep.
He really grew into the role.
Absolutely.
It's really cool to watch.
Big Tom Welling fans here. So Lois is at the Kents when she answers the door to a tall, handsome blonde man with a letter from Queen Industries. She tells the messenger that he should aim higher than delivering for the rich and arrogant and shuts the door in his face. When Martha arrives, she realizes that Lois just dismissed the CEO of Queen Industries, Oliver Queen. Lois looks chastened.
This is a fun. Go ahead.
Let me bang out this.
Our
this
timing
one
is
sentence.
off tonight.
I think we have a little bit of a lag issue here. Lois looks chastised. Later, Lois goes to Oliver Queen's loft apartment with an apology in a gift basket. Oliver accepts her apology if Lois agrees to be his date to Lex's costume ball. He already even has a costume for her. Okay, let's go. Let's bring it back to the Kents.
Yes, I think this is cute. A little meet cute. It's fun. I love the Lois Oliver Queen team
It's
up.
fun.
It's fun. The
It
dynamic with Clark is good.
It does seem to be like the play here to put Lois with other DC Comics heroes. That seems to be
for
step
That's
one.
their move. Yeah. But in the year 2006, is there any way possible Lois Lane doesn't know what the hot young billionaire bachelor looks like?
Absurd.
I feel like people's grandmas would know. Like everyone would know. This guy would be all over the news,
Right.
all over the
Right.
tabloids.
Right.
People, like, we knew what Paris Hilton looked like.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Literally, that's all that she was a rich, young, attractive person.
Right.
There's no way she doesn't know what he looks like.
No way.
Sorry. There's no way.
I also am struggling with the idea here is that Oliver Queen has come to talk to Martha about potentially, quote unquote, donating or supporting her campaign in some way. So you're effectively having a meeting with Martha Kent. It's Martha being a senator is a really convenient way to get characters to come to the Kent farm.
Right, yeah.
But like you're there to speak to her, and then some idiot comes to the door and is like, "Thanks for the letter, punk." And at no point you're like, "Hi, I'm Oliver Queen."
I feel like that's on Martha, though.
It's on Martha.
That's on Martha. You got to be like, hey, Lois.
Oliver
I
Queen
have
is
company coming. Yeah. Especially since she's like, isn't she like a campaign manager or something?
Right.
Like, she needs to know.
There was a big breakdown here.
And wait, she just became a senator last season. She's already working on her.
You're
Fucking
always fundraising. You're
man.
always fundraising.
She's already running again.
It's a
She's
fundraiser.
not thinking about her job.
Right? Yep. No, the job, it sucks, man. The job is fundraising. And then occasionally some law, like writing on the side.
Ugh.
Sucks, man. It's broken. The system's broken.
When Lois, hot take. When Lois goes to visit, we get our first shot of the clock tower. It's that shot they use a lot, which is, the mall is in the foreground.
Yeah.
The entrance to that mall.
Yeah.
And then the clock tower is behind it. There's a really weird logic that Oliver Queen uses to get her to go on the date with him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because Lois is like, give me a chance to convince you. Like, you should give Martha a chance. And he's like, if she's as amazing as you say, it's going to take a lot more than a few minutes to convince me to support her. What?
Hey, yeah, I flagged that one too. What?
It should take a shorter amount of time.
That's the what?
Did the writers not notice that doesn't make sense? Or they're like, fuck it, no, we need to way out of the scene. Just shut the fuck up. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
Shut up, it's 9.
This is what I want from Talkville. Welcome to the part of the podcast where I just complained about the missed opportunity Talkville is.
They don't know anything about the writing of the show.
I know,
They know nothing.
but like these are interesting questions for a Smallville podcast to ask.
You just get Michael was going to, I don't like this. I don't know. This isn't kind of stupid.
Good show,
Which
everybody.
we say it's stupid, but we do it with love. We do it with
Only
love.
love. Only love. Sometimes hate.
Not like
Sometimes some stone storylines come.
Yeah,
Right.
this is stupid. Use BetterHelp.com and ZipRecruiter
And Geico.
and Geico, whatever the fuck else.
Okay. It's also weird he's just got a costume ready. It's a little cleavagey, gotta say. Just It's also a very funny, like,
It's a CW amount of cleavage.
yes, but he's got like a box where like, come with me to Lex's ball, and then he's got like a box, and then she looks at it and goes, it's even in my size. I'm pretty good at sizing people up. The fuck is happening here? Here's the thing. If you would just not, because the whole thing is like, I don't have a costume. If Lois will eventually show up in a costume, I would just assume she figured out a costume. I wouldn't be worried about it, you know? I wouldn't be like, where'd she get that costume?
Well, it's got to match with Robin Hood, right?
I guess so. But I don't know, man.
I mean, I would love the scene more if he was like sexy Robin Hood, Lex is sexy Caesar, you know, Lana's sexy Cleopatra, and then like Lois shows up, I don't know, like a sumo suit or something. Something ridiculous.
Oh, shit. That's what I want now. All right. So Clark goes to the talent apartment.
The same scene, same sexy music and, you know, photography, but just she's in an absurd costume instead of...
Yes. Make that shot and you can have me. If you can get over the sumo suit. Clark goes to the talent apartment to visit Chloe, who is staying with Lois. She tells him about the couple in the woods, and they guess that a metahuman must have killed her. Are we using the word metahuman? That's a thing.
They can't say meteor.
I guess so.
It's not a meteor freak because it's one of these escaped phantoms.
Right. Do they say metahuman in the show?
I think this is the first time.
But is this the wiki saying metahuman, or in the show do they say metahuman?
Oh yeah, I don't think I heard them say metahuman.
I don't think so either, because that's a thing
wiki.
like the like Snyderverse movies use.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
No,
I think they're maybe
that's...
retroactively doing that.
Yes. And I just want to say, now that the freak of the weeks are meteor freaks, I think we should call them neo freaks of the week.
Ooh.
Neo freaks.
I love it. All right. So a metahuman must have killed her. He agrees to help her investigate, then asks what she was doing at Makeout Point anyway. What were you doing at Makeout Point? It's fun. I don't know if it's perfectly explored, but there's a lot of fun here in everyone wanted to make out with Clark, and now no one's making out with Clark.
Yeah.
And Clark's kind of bummed about it.
And then he meets it'll be the next paragraph. He meets the sexy park ranger.
Right.
And he's immediately like, oh, maybe this is someone I could not fuck.
Maybe this is someone I can lie to for years.
Yeah. I could see myself never settling down with her.
Yeah. Okay, so Clark asks Chloe what she was doing at Makeout Point. Chloe doesn't have an answer. Chloe doesn't have to answer because just then Jimmy walks in from the back bedroom. Clark and Chloe arrive at the woods where a search is already in progress. Clark super speeds to where Chloe says she found the body and is approached by an attractive brunette who introduces herself as Gloria from Park Services. She maintains that she's searched this area already, but Clark uses his X-ray vision to find the boy, barely alive under a net of thorny vines. He tries to pull them away from him, but to his shock, they cut him. I know we were just complimenting Tom Welling's work. His, ow, these thorns hurt me work was maybe not the strongest of his career. I don't think that part's going on as real, is all I'm going to say.
Hey man, he's not used to feeling pain, okay?
You're right. You're absolutely right. Okay, gonna pick up some speed here. Clark, Chloe, and Jimmy go to the hospital to read the boy's chart and see a strange pod-looking things in his lung x-ray. Jimmy wants to take pictures and warn people, but Clark and Chloe object until they know what's going on. Jimmy is annoyed that they went into the woods without him, and he and Chloe go back and forth about the exact status of their relationship. Until Clark reminds them that now's not the time. It's very funny, like, when we have to make information happen.
Yeah.
Like, no, this isn't a conversation you have in front of Clark. Come on.
No, you wait until you move into each other's mansion and you're about to have a costume party.
Right. Yep. Okay, so Clark points out that Luther Corp owns a greenhouse right along the woods, but Chloe protests, saying Clark is stretching to blame Lex for personal reasons. Annoyed, Clark rattles off a list of reasons why it's not an unreasonable assumption and goes to the greenhouse. Jimmy is taking pictures in the woods when he encounters Gloria. She pushes him down, and vines grow out of the ground and imprison him. We get a vine straight in the gob. One of those gob vines. Some real...
Those gob vines you're always reading about.
Yeah, here it is. It's real 2006 TV CGI.
Yeah.
I remember...
Once again, we knew it was bad back then. No one thought this was cutting edge at the time.
I will say...
It was just get us through.
Right. I remember thinking season 1's like CGI being really bad, and then by the time getting to season 6 being like, this isn't half bad. That's how I remember thinking about it. It's half bad.
Well, it's it's certainly an improvement.
Yeah, and maybe that's what I wasn't watching a lot of stuff other than Smallville, I guess. So, but yeah, and that's the thing. You're doing your best. You're doing your best with what you got. So
that's right. Yeah.
Lex finds Clark in the greenhouse. They argue about Lana. Clark says that she will find out how evil he is. Lex announces that Clark is not welcome on his property and tells him to leave. I think this is at least the second time we've gotten the days of you walking in unannounced onto my property are over. Like, you've threatened this a couple of times.
Oh, no. I know the exact line. The beginning of last season, he says, the days of you barging in to give me sage advice are over. Barging into my home to give me sage advice. And this is, the days of you coming here unannounced are over. Yeah. It's like, okay, we'll
different
see.
Different days.
I thought that was a really fun scene.
It's good.
Nice, the tension. You know, they just openly don't like each other now. Clark has a great burn where Lex he talks about this plant. I can't remember what he says about the plant, but then Clark is like, so even your plants have hidden agendas. Hey!
Also, though, Clark,
yeah,
you don't need your legs.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Once again, you've been gaslighting this guy for years.
It's season 6. That means this is your 6th year of gaslighting this guy.
That's buddy. The moral high ground is sinking.
You're the bad guy.
You're the bad guy. You drove this man crazy. Okay, Lana goes to Chloe's apartment to discuss her relationship with Lex, and Chloe patiently listens. Lana admits that she has trust issues, but she really doesn't trust herself.
And she's feeling miserable and
right, of course.
What were the other things? Yeah, stupid and
hungry.
Chloe
reasons that Lana can't keep waiting and watching. If she wants something to change, she's gonna have to make a decision or take action. Back at the hospital, Chloe tells Clark that her botany professor could only tell her that the vine was foreign to Earth and it was female. The idea... Just a Kansas State University botany professor. It's just like, yeah, no, this is from space.
Yeah, there's no way this is from Earth.
It's
the idea that they're like, oh, wow, this might be you might have found a new, like that would be the response, right? I've never seen this before. Let me talk to one of my colleagues at Columbia or some shit.
It's something different it's a girl space plant. Just then, the paramedics arrive with a female park ranger. You know what they fucking need? And I guess this should be Chloe. They don't have... Smallville cast doesn't have, like, a research guy.
That's Chloe. Chloe.
That is Chloe, I guess, but, like, something where... and I guess, like, the botany professor is the same. And Buffy was a little easier because you could hide... exposition in like an old dusty tome, and there was Xander,
right.
and Xander's job was to open the big dusty tome and like, this demon is this thing. But it feels more proactive than my botany professor said it's a space plant. I don't know.
It's real shades of Michael Caine's Alfred.
Yes.
I did research.
Right.
It turns out there's a guy named Bane who lived in a pit.
Yes.
Where did you do that research? I asked around.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I went on the black web.
When I was in Burma.
I'm friends with Bane on Facebook.
Yep. Well, my botany professor says he's not from. Okay. So, when Clark learns... Okay, just then the paramedics arrive with a female park ranger's body. When Clark learns that it is not Gloria, he realizes that she is an imposter. Not that there aren't other maybe park rangers, so the department doesn't just have one person.
What I love about this is he passes by the paramedics. They're in this busy hallway at the hospital. They are moving this stretcher with a body bag by, and they're talking to each other how this, whatever, we just found this one, blah, blah, blah. And Clark's like, hey, I think I can identify that body. So these two park rangers like, okay, stranger, let me unzip this body bag in the middle of this busy hallway to let you have a peek. And then Clark's like, that's not her. And they're like, fuck you. What do you know? It's definitely her. Like, oh.
I mean, this all tracks for Smallville Medical, right?
I was going to say, do they just know him so well at this point? Like, that's Clark. Yeah, he's fine. He's cool. He came back to life a couple of years ago.
We, lost him for a while after he died, so we just kind of let him do whatever so that he doesn't sue. He really kind of runs the place now.
They wouldn't have to worry about those farm bills if Clark had, pulled his head out of his ass. Just sued him.
Chloe goes to check on the first boy attacked, who has vines growing out of his body and covering the hospital room. She notices the vines around the light switches and plugs are dead. In the woods, Gloria explains that she was put in the Phantom Zone for trying to overtake other planets with her vegetation, and escaped when Clark did. So I thought this was fun, and I don't know how well utilized it is for Freak of the Weeks, but I love the idea of Freak of the Weeks being Phantom Zone escapees.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
It's like a little. Every couple of years, we got to come up with a new way to do Freak of the Weeks. First, it was they were all from the meteor shower,
right? The
original meteor shower, and then in season 4, at the end of that one, we had a new meteor shower, so we got a few new meteor freaks. And
right. It's fun.
Now we get the Phantom Zone people. That's
really fun.
It spares them the sad explanation of how they got the power.
Right. So she announces that she intends to go to Lex's nearby party and find other suitors, and straps Clark to a tree with her vines. He notices Jimmy, but then passes out. It is then revealed that he was not only tied up by vines, but he was impaled through the chest. Okay. Chloe arrives at the woods and gets Clark down with a taser. Clark heals and wakes up quickly. Once free, Clark tells Chloe where to find Jimmy, and she reveals that electricity kills the vines. Oh!
Did her professor tell her that?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, girl space vines, they hate electricity. Not the boy ones, though. The boy ones, they get stronger from it. The girl ones, though, they hate it.
The boy ones, they get destroyed with bullets.
So this future society, this planet that she's from, that has the technology to put her into the Phantom Zone, was like, didn't have the electricity to stop her vines, is what I'm...
Different planet, different rules.
I guess so. Okay, she urges him to go stop Gloria and calls the paramedics for Jimmy. When they arrive, she takes matters into her own hands and uses the defibrillator panels to shock him. He wakes up instantly, which is not how that works.
Hold on. This is my favorite part of the episode. She's pleading with the paramedics as they're carrying Jimmy into the back of the ambulance. She's like, you have to use the defibrillator. Trust me, please. And the paramedic goes, we will not defib. Now go sit with him unsupervised next to that defibrillator in the back of the ambulance. Like, literally, we will not defib. And then he lets her climb into the ambulance and sit next to a defibrillator unsupervised.
Right, you can't just hang out in the ambulance unattended. I don't think. All right, he wakes up instantly. I believe his thing is like, you paddled me? The fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
The fuck does that mean?
No, if you want to paddle in, come to my basement later.
Hachi machi!
Wait, you know what? That would be less fun and kinky if it wasn't about Allison Mack's character.
Good point.
Whoops.
Whoops. All right. Clark arrives at Lex's greenhouse and interrupts Gloria from claiming her next victim, a party guest. She knocks him back with more vines, which grow all around the greenhouse, knocking heat lamps out of the ceiling. Clark uses his heat vision to set off the sprinkler system, which shorts out the lamps and electrocutes Gloria. I think this is as good a time as any to explain that Lex's ball is in full swing. Zach, make an incredibly insightful observation while I find a very important clip from.
I do want to say I buy this way more than I buy the high school prom thing. Like,
sure.
Previously, he got Lifehouse to play at the prom. I don't buy that, but I do buy him getting like. I do think bands play for rich private parties all the time.
Definitely.
A billionaire could get this band to play at his party. I buy that.
The band that you're referring to, of course, is the All American Rejects, who had a hit single at the time. It Ends Tonight is the name of the single.
I never was a fan of the song.
No, I was never an All American Rejects guy. So I have to stop this before the song starts because we will get dinged. But
okay.
What I want to play here is the little speech the All-American Rejects guy. So we're coming in from an axe break here.
Welcome to the first annual benefit ball for the victims of Dark Thursday. On behalf of Lex Luthor, we'd like to thank everybody for reaching into your pockets and supporting the families affected by this disaster. You guys rock.
And we have to cut it there.
I tuned that out. I did not even hear that when I watched the episode. That's amazing.
That threw me. That is the thing I remembered from this episode. Like, he's going to say that ridiculous thing. This man of the All-American Rejects stepped on to the Smallville set and they're like, say this thing. And he went, okay.
He went, whatever you say. Yeah. Me want be famous.
Me want be famous. And he will have his he'll have his moment enough that, like, obviously, like, I know this song very well, but I don't know who this guy is. You know what I mean?
No, me either. Yeah, me either. I mean, they had a few hits.
Yes, for sure. Never a favorite. Always, yeah. It's kind of like Fall Out Boy, like filtered down to to this currently on our screen is a man with no sleeves. I love you, no sleeves man. Bass man has no sleeves. I don't know if that's the guitar or the bass. I don't know the difference. I know the difference musically. I do not know. I can't tell you if I'm looking at a bass or if I'm looking at a guitar.
Yeah.
But, okay. At Lex's ball, the animosity between Oliver and Lex is revealed, but Lex stays in a good mood since earlier Lana arrived at the party to spend the evening with him. So, just Egyptian is allowed as a costume, huh? 2006? We're just allowed to do Egyptian, huh?
It's a Cleopatra.
Yeah,
it's a gray area.
All right. I'm just saying, 2024 CW is not doing that.
Oh, no. Certainly not.
At the party's end, Oliver takes Lois home, but she denies him a goodnight kiss, saying that he will have to earn it. She challenges him to hit a can off a dumpster with an arrow, and when he seemingly misses, she leaves. Oliver smiles slyly and reveals that he did hit the can, pegging the pop tab to the wall.
Right.
This is a fun scene. This is very good. This is a very good scene. It's dopey in all the good ways.
Yes.
I do. It's so the thing here is that he misses kind of on purpose, right? That's what we are implying. I am just thinking too, as a red-blooded American man, Erica Durance is like, I'll make out with you if you hit that can. Dude, 10 arrows right now. Twap, 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 twap.
Right.
Not me, but if I was the superhero whose whole thing was arrows, thwap, thwap, thwap.
Right. The can's gone. It's eviscerated. There will be no traces of the can left. Right? I don't even understand diegetically why he misses.
I don't either.
Unless it's to throw her off and be like, oh, I'm not that good at archery. But he gets really close. So
yeah.
If you wanted to throw her off, you'd have to like not even get the arrow. You can't even pull the bow back. It's like so difficult for you.
I think you'd be even better off hitting the can and just being like, I can't believe I did that. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's make out. I'm shocked, but I want to make out with you.
I also, it's the specific wording she says is hit the can and you can have me.
Right.
Which is what you say to someone you want to make out with.
Right. Or more.
Or
do more.
Or more. You want to have awkward bad car sex with that person.
I'm surprised that she didn't give him a kiss anyway.
That's kind of right? Like even like a pity, like, it's what the fuck was that scene though, actually? It's like also like the can thing wasn't like legally binding. You can still moving on, back at the Luthor mansion, Lex tells Lana that his evil plan is working, and Lana smiles, thoroughly amused. Lex and Lana undress each other in front of his fireplace and have sex.
Boo.
But also there's a goofy, I like it. It's dumb as a bag of rocks. But like she's taking his armor off.
Yeah,
both literally and metaphorically, you see.
And then they cut to the very clear body double once she has her shirt off. Like,
it's just back though. They need a body double. I mean, I guess so. Right. If she doesn't want to be on set, like
exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. But what really, the scene on its own, like, boo, gross, don't get me wrong. But then we get a sexy Oliver Lois scene. We get a sexy Lana Lex scene. And then we get a little bit of a tracking shot into the loft where we see Clark throwing a baseball against his wall.
Yeah. You know what? I did want to say earlier in the episode, I wanted to say this. I kind of dig the new normal of the new status quo of Clark, the storylines, the dramatic, the romantic stuff is all everyone else. It's like Chloe and Jimmy it's Lois and Oliver, it's Lana and Lex, and then I like Clark is just kind of hovering through it doing Superman stuff.
Yeah, I
Kinda
actually like that too, because it doesn't make sense to immediately leap Clark into another romantic storyline because he still has the same problems that he has. It's
totally
what we need to do for a little while is wheel spin on him romantically and make him scenes like this that where he's lonely. He does want somebody. He does want that.
Well, and also, like you said, we can't keep watching him make the same fucking mistakes over and over again. Right. We've done all the things we can with him and Lana. We've done it too many times.
I literally do not want to see him and Lana. I know it's going to happen again, but I don't care. She might as well Mac with Lex because, like, who the fuck cares?
Right. And yeah, true to life, by the time they do get together, like it's too late. It's like a real Great Gatsby situation.
Right. Yes.
And they're not ready to do the Lois thing yet. And so I like the kind of Clark's just doing Superman things. He's got bigger shit going on.
I agree.
He's kind of like, lonely and sad a little bit, but I like that he's not driving the plot in the way that he used to. It's becoming more of an ensemble. Lois is taking a much bigger role, which I'm a huge fan of.
Absolutely. Zach, we have needle drops this episode. We have needle drops.
This has been so long.
I know. We have Dark by Telepictures. I assume that was at Makeout Lane. We open on a song kind of diegetically over the radio. We also have Club Young from Telepictures. I Won't Rate by Fred Spiegelman. It Ends Tonight by the All American Rejects. And Ache, demo version by James Carrington. Let's see here. Looking through some notes here, some fun facts. The Robin Hood costume, Oliver Queen wears to the ball. That wasn't mentioned in he's Robin Hood and Lois Lane is Maid Marian. It matches the Silver Age Green Arrow costume from the comics and the cartoon. It took me a second to put together that it was Robin Hood, which made sense once it clicked. But at first I was like, did you just come to this party as the fictional superhero Green Arrow? You're just wearing an old Green Arrow costume. Just seeing if there's anything else interesting here. This is funny. There's a bit where Lois brings Oliver a basket, a gift basket to apologize for her behavior earlier. He takes a jar out of it, hands it to her, and just goes, "I'm allergic to peanuts." He's being playful. He's being... the jar says the word almonds. I will say...
That's funny. That's
as a peanut allergy haver, love the representation from Cool Hot Backstreet Boy. Oliver Queen. Just really bumping up the pedigree of us peanut allergy havers.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Would it infuriate you as a person with peanut allergies if diegetically Oliver Queen was lying and he just said that as a joke?
Infuriate? No, very disappointed. Very disappointed. If I see him eating a peanut butter sandwich later, I will feel lied to.
Yeah. Oliver Queen outed as lying about peanut allergy.
Canceled. Let's see. Amber McDonald. We do still at some point have to go back and watch. We didn't mention this last time when Justin Hartley debuted as Oliver Queen. Goff and Miller, creators, did a pilot for an Aquaman TV series, and Justin Hartley played Aquaman, not Alan Richardson. I believe that's his name.
Yeah.
Who was in the TV show. I think the studio at CW was like, he doesn't have enough like sea legs to like anchor a show.
And I think it was, they just did the pilot too.
Yeah.
It
must be over at this, because otherwise they'd be moving forward with that, right? Like,
right, but Aquaman.
It was only last season.
It's the beginning of last season. So
right. Yeah, huh.
They didn't. Yeah, they no. I'm sure they filmed it and they didn't pick it up, and then they were like, "Hey, we like you. You're charming."
Right. But okay, so Amber McDonald, who was Gloria, the evil park ranger, she was also in the Aquaman pilot as Aquaman's friend.
Okay.
Here's something interesting. Erica Durance went on to appear as Maid Marian in the 2009 film Beyond Sherwood Forest, where the merry men face a dragon. What the fuck is Beyond Sherwood Forest?
Are we watching Beyond Sherwood?
I have no... It doesn't link to anything. I have to find out right now what the fuck this is. Oh boy, does it look bad. And it's on Tubi right now.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Is she top 3 builds?
Number 3.
Ooh, that's just enough. She just made the cut. Great.
Oof. Okay, I see. It's 2009. Got it. Okay. Ooh.
Is this a sequel? Beyond Sherwood? Is there like a Sherwood Forest? Is there?
I have no idea. We'll have to find out. I mean, I'm only watching the one Erica Durance is in, so. I think that's everything. Everybody, thank you for listening to the Talon Mix. We got our streak. It's been one episode since we've had a stinker.
The non-stinker streak. One.
This is a new thing we're doing. Welcome to the new bit. It's called the stinker streak. Non-stinker streak. One episode. We liked it. For all the silly stuff, I like this one. I think this is a really good one.
A lot of fun.
Thank you for listening to our silly little Smallville podcast. What do we have to go over? We have stuff. We have lots of stuff. We have a Discord. We have a Patreon that, let's be clear, pays for this show. Thank you, everybody who contributes to it. We're hoping to get some bonus stuff up there soon. We have a couple of fun ideas. We just haven't had the time to do it. But we appreciate everybody who's donated to the Patreon. If you would like to do the same, you can head to bit.ly Brian Zach Pod. That's bit.ly Brian Zach Pod. If you don't want to do that, you could still really help us by taking out your phone or whatever you're listening to this on, go to your podcasting thing, and do whatever indicates you enjoyed listening.
Do it.
Please do it. Please do it. Just what the barest minimum, Spotify listeners, guys, just pull it out and hit the stars. Bare minimum. If I understand there's a little bit of an extra thing to do, a review on Apple Podcasts. That is our most people listen on Apple Podcasts. So that is our biggest thing, and reviews there are very, very, very helpful. So we appreciate everyone who has done that and everyone who will do it because I just said so. Zach, do you have a question for the Smallville gods?
I don't know if the Smallville gods will know this or not, but will my internet get its shit together, please?
Good night, everybody.